So, you want to own an NFL team. Most people picture Sundays in a private box, a headset, maybe a locker room speech before the Super Bowl. What they don't picture is a business so profitable that the league had to invent rules just to stop owners from spending too much of their own money on it. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what it costs to buy your way into the NFL today, how a machine built entirely on television contracts pays every single owner before a game is even played, why the salary cap has nearly tripled in 4 years, and how two very different owners lost control of their franchises, one for how he treated people, the other for where he moved a team. In late 2025, the cost of entry into this exclusive group reached levels that redefined sports economics. The Dallas Cowboys led the league at a valuation of $13 billion, marking a 29% surge year over year and nearly doubling in value in just 4 years. Behind them, the Los Angeles Rams stood at $10.5 billion, with the New York Giants following at $10.1 billion. The average NFL franchise is now worth approximately $7.4 billion, an 18% leap in a single year, with the league baseline established at $5 billion, meaning even the lowest valued team cannot be bought for less. For buyers demanding absolute control, the cost is clear. The Walton Penner Group purchased the Denver Broncos for $4.65 billion in 2022, a record eclipsed in 2023 when Josh Harris bought the Washington Commanders for $6.05 billion. Because full control opportunities are exceptionally rare, the league altered its strict ownership bylaws to permit institutional capital. This allowed private equity firms like Ares Management and Arctos Partners to purchase passive, minority stakes. The policy change immediately sparked a valuation reset. In 2025, the Miami Dolphins structured a minority deal at an implied valuation of $8.1 billion, while the Philadelphia Eagles reached $8.3 billion. The market peaked when a minority stake in the San Francisco 49ers traded at an historic valuation of $8.6 billion, proving that even without voting power, a slice of the shield commands a premium. In 1920, the Chicago Bears franchise was acquired for just $100. 5 years later, in 1925, the New York Giants were purchased for a mere $500. By 1933, the Pittsburgh Steelers changed hands for $2,500. These early transactions existed as speculative local business bets, far removed from modern institutional capital. The buyers were often local entrepreneurs and bookmakers operating on thin margins, risking modest amounts of money in an unstable league that struggled for basic public attention. Today, that original $100 Chicago Bears franchise is worth roughly $8.2 billion. This century of compounding appreciation shows how fragile town team operations became some of the most valuable corporations in America. The scale of this financial growth raises a fundamental question. What specific economic systems turned these modest local ventures into multi-billion-dollar assets? That transformation is driven by a collective financial engine designed to guarantee profitability for every franchise. Between 2021 and 2023, the NFL secured historic broadcast packages with ESPN, CBS, Fox, NBC, and Amazon worth more than $100 billion over a decade. This massive influx of media cash, combined with league-wide corporate sponsorships and merchandising, pushed total NFL revenue past $23 billion last year. Instead of letting popular, big-market franchises hoard these massive profits, the league pools this national income and splits it evenly across all 32 owners. This equal split distributed roughly $416 million directly to each individual team before they sold a single ticket. This shared money serves as the core valuation machine, creating an incredibly high, predictable financial floor for every franchise. To climb above this baseline, owners must maximize local revenue as the primary separator. The Dallas Cowboys represent the ultimate model for this monetization. Under Jerry Jones, the Cowboys generated $1.27 billion in total revenue last year, pulling in roughly $300 million in lucrative sponsorship income alone by leveraging AT&T Stadium as a year-round sports and music venue. While national television money guarantees basic financial survival, local ingenuity determines who truly commands the sports entertainment market. To maximize local revenue, the modern NFL playbook has evolved beyond the gridiron, turning franchises into massive real estate developers. The cornerstone of this strategy is the personal seat license, a one-time fee fans pay for the right to buy season tickets. In Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium cost well north of $5 billion, using these upfront seat licenses as an immediate funding tool to offset construction debt. In 2023, the Chicago Bears purchased 326 acres in Arlington Heights for $197 million. This acquisition is the foundation for a planned $10.9 billion mixed-use district. The team committed more than $2 billion directly to the stadium itself, with the remaining $9 billion expected from private financing, seat licenses, and surrounding real estate development. Ultimately, stadium ownership operates as a physical anchor for an appreciating, multi-use real estate asset. Under the collective bargaining agreement, players receive roughly 48% of shared league revenue, linking roster spending directly to media windfalls. This partnership pushed the salary cap from $208.2 million in 2022 to $279.2 million in 2025. By 2026, the cap is projected to hit $301.2 million, adding nearly $100 million in spending room over just 4 seasons. But the cap is not a simple spending limit. Teams use proration to spread signing bonuses over several seasons. When players are released early, any remaining bonus charges accelerate instantly into dead money, cap hits for players no longer on the team. In 2026, the Miami Dolphins face over $182 million in dead money, absorbing roughly 60% of their cap. It is the largest dead money bill in NFL history, revealing how cap accounting diverges from cash reality. In 1999, Dan Snyder purchased the Washington franchise for $800 million. Over the next 2 decades, dismal on-field performance paired with persistent off-field scrutiny. This intensified when former federal prosecutor Mary Jo White led an independent investigation into workplace sexual misconduct and allegations that the team intentionally shielded $11 million in shareable ticket revenue. The league issued a $10 million fine in 2021, followed by an additional $60 million penalty in 2023. Under intense pressure from fellow owners, Snyder sold the team in 2023, proving that even a rapidly appreciating asset can become untenable when league governance turns against you. In 2016, Stan Kroenke relocated the Rams from St. Louis to Los Angeles, submitting a harsh 29-page application declaring St. Louis economically unviable. The city, county, and stadium authority responded with a massive lawsuit, alleging the league breached its own guidelines and hid relocation plans since 2013. The 4-year legal battle escalated, threatening to force all 32 NFL owners to expose their private financial books in court. To block the disclosure, Kroenke and the league settled for $790 million in November 2021. Showing that raw geographic control carries immense jurisdictional risk. Entering this club requires choosing between absolute control or passive exposure. A controlling stake in a smaller market franchise like the Bengals or Jaguars costs $5 to $6 billion, returning over $500 million in revenue against a $300 million payroll. Operating income reaches tens of millions, but long-term appreciation remains the real prize. The alternative is passive exposure, buying an 8% slice of the Eagles for $660 million, or a 2% Bears stake implying an $8.8 billion valuation. Ultimately, buyers are purchasing a fractional claim on a scarce media company that stages football games, where the greatest risk is whether the other 31 owners can live with you. Ultimately, owning an NFL franchise isn't about football. It is the acquisition of a scarce media asset that merely happens to stage games. As institutional billions pour in, the scoreboard on Sunday becomes secondary. The real game is played in the boardroom. What do you think? Share your thoughts below.